Hey guys, it's Practical Psychology, and in this video we're going to be going over 12 habits that millionaires have. And hopefully, you can start implementing them in your life to increase your chances of success. Tip number 1 is that they have a budget. Now this could be a monthly budget or a weekly budget, but they track their net worth through their income and expenses. And this is something that you're just going to have to turn into a habit if you're trying to implement it in your life. I started it probably 2 years ago, and I've definitely noticed you start understanding where your money is going and you become more conscious about that, and it's really fun to see your net worth grow. Habit number 2 is that they are proactive. Now, if you don't know what proactive means, I highly suggest you go and watching my 7 Habits of Highly Effective People video, because that's the first step. And basically it means when something bad happens to you, don't be reactive. You have the opportunity to go out and change it. You have the opportunity to change the world. Look at me. I started Practical Psychology as book reviews, and I'm almost at 1 million subscribers now. Thank you so much, guys. Anyways, I wanted to change the world, I wanted to add more value, and that's what I did. Tip number 3 is that they read a lot. I cannot overstress this. I have read tons of books on success, psychology, business, and self-development, and one common theme that I've seen among all of these, which is weird because it's meta, because it's also in books, is that they read a ton of books. Millionaires love to fill their heads with ideas, because ideas are seeds for businesses, and businesses generate profit. If you want to increase your chance to becoming a millionaire, the number 1 thing I can suggest is to read more. Read more nonfiction. Read more stuff that will help you become a better person. Social skills, business development, personal growth, almost anything that you can get your hands on, just start reading. Even newspapers. I've seen people read newspapers, business reports, all kinds of stuff. Read. Fill your head with all kinds of ideas, and these ideas will start to compound. Tip number 4 is to be super curious. Now this ties in with reading, because if you're reading something that you're not curious about, it's not going to be fun. I mean, I've read books in high school. They were fiction, they were stories, and I was like, this is not interesting. I don't want to learn about this. And the curiosity part of it, a ton of millionaires are curious. If you find a millionaire that isn't curious, I want you to email it to me at practicalpsychologytips@gmail.com, because I don't think I've ever met an entrepreneur or a millionaire, even a billionaire. I bet most billionaires are super curious. They never stop learning. Tip number 5 ties into tip number 4, which is to pursue your curiosity. So you can have curiosity, you can be curious about something. I mean, I've actually seen this before. My sister asked me a question, and I was like, what do you have in your pocket right now? It's a smartphone, why don't you look it up? I mean, you can be curious about something, but pursuing that curiosity and taking action against it is something that millionaires do. Tip number 6 is they find a mentor. Now, if you've ever seen any of the Tai Lopez advertisements, you'll know something that he's very big about is finding a mentor. And the reason he is because he wants to be a mentor for you. He wants you to pay money for you to be his mentor. And that's just part of his business strategy. But in reality, a mentor can skip you across all kinds of failures that you would have yourself if you just listen to the mentor. I mean, there's tons of people who learn mistakes by themselves. But if you can skip that process and you can learn from someone else's mistakes because they're a mentor to you, it's going to give you a jump start on being a millionaire. Tip number 7 is goals. Now, goals are really important in any aspect of life simply because they will help you with motivation and they will help you with discipline. Having goals, setting goals, and then achieving those goals is something that works. You have to be self-aware, because for me, I love to be competitive. I love to have more subscribers than someone else. I love to make more videos than someone else. It's motivating me. So you have to have goals that are congruent to what motivates you. They can't be way out there, but they also can't be short-sighted. My best tip is to come up with goals that are SMART, and that's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And if you use all these things and create a goal around them, it should motivate you. Tip number 8 is to do daily lists. So every morning when I wake up, what I do is I write down 3 things that I want to get done that day. And it's super important because every time I do one of those things, I get to cross it off and it motivates me to do the next one. And if I am laying in bed at night and one of those things isn't crossed off, sometimes I will literally get up out of bed at 11:30 at night and go, hey, I need to get this done. It's making me mad. I can't go to sleep. And I'll do it. And for some reason that motivates me, and I think and I believe it will motivate you as well. It's something that I've realized a lot in studying a ton of millionaires. They like to do lists and organize those lists, and they use those lists to complete what I mentioned in the previous step, which was goals. Tip number 9 is to have multiple streams of income. Now this is really technical, and if you've never had multiple streams of income, I highly suggest you watching some of my videos on income development or passive income. It's like raining money. When you get different sources of income, it just feels amazing. Can you just imagine having $1 thrown at you on the left side, $1 on the right side, $1 falling down from the sky, looking down and seeing a $5 bill? That's what it is to have multiple sources of income. Money coming at you at all different angles, and it's just, if one breaks down, if I get fired at my job, boom, I got other places to rely on. And that's something that millionaires do, is they have multiple streams of income. Now, it's important not to confuse this with the next tip, which is to not diversify. Now, you've probably heard the term, diversify your portfolio and you'll get rich. Well, the thing is, a lot of people, a lot of millionaires, in fact, if you study them, what they do is they don't diversify their portfolio until after they're a millionaire. To become a millionaire, they put all their eggs in one basket and they look at that basket and they watch it and they make sure none of the eggs break. So, don't diversify. You need to focus on something. Put all of your energy and focus on one thing. Don't diversify it. If you look at like Mark Cuban, he started one company, boom, made a whole bunch of money. Started another company, he focused only on that second company, boom, made a whole bunch of money. And it continues. Now he diversifies because over time he had multiple companies. But at the time, he only had one focus. And that's one thing I think that millionaire habits can do that you can implement in your life too, is to have one focus. Tip number 11 is to avoid time wasters. Now, there are tons of things in this world and time that you can do that will literally just waste your time. But millionaires, one of their habits is that they understand the importance and value of their time. They will never get time back, and you need to understand that too. And once you understand that, you will start valuing your time more. Once you start valuing your time more, you'll understand really easy to avoid a lot of time wasters. You know, checking your Facebook for 30 minutes a day, you know how much more productive you could be if you turn that into business development or writing a book? If you spent 30 minutes writing a book for a year, you could have like 2 or 3 books written. I can almost guarantee it. Just understand the value of time, and if there's something in your life that is completely wasting your time, like you're spending time with a friend and you're not getting any value out of it, and you're not helping them either, then cut that line. Tip number 12 is something that I've came up with. It has never really been stated in any book that I've read, but I've noticed it. A lot of millionaires focus on their highest earning activities. For example, one thing I do here on the channel is I have noticed there are a ton of different kind of videos. I do book reviews, I do top 10s, I do lists, there are all kinds of videos. But one habit that I've seen millionaires do in the past that I'm going to try to replicate is focus on which videos are the highest earning ones, which ones get me the most views. In other words, what gets me to my goal the quickest? And there's a lot of people that make this mistake. They're like, oh, I want to make $1 million, but I want to have $10,000 in my savings account, or I want to buy this $10,000 car. That is not a highest earning activity. If you buy that car, it's going to cost you money. If you spend 30 minutes at your local grocery store trying to decide which can of peas is going to save you 3 cents, that's not a high earning activity. In fact, you're literally wasting your time when you can spend 3 extra pennies on the can of peas and have 30 extra minutes to work on your business. So, I'm going to review these. Tip number 1 is to have a monthly or weekly budget. Tip number 2 is to be proactive. Tip number 3 is to read a lot. Number 4 is to be super curious and pursue that curiosity. Tip number 6 is to have a mentor. Tip number 7 and 8 is to have goals and have daily lists to accomplish those goals. Tip number 9 is to have multiple streams of income. Tip number 10 is to not diversify, but be extremely focused. Tip number 11 is to avoid time wasters. And the last tip is to focus on the highest earning activities in your life. If you guys enjoyed this video, click the like button. If you want more videos like this, subscribe. I hope I added immense value to your life from this video. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed that video and want to read the book I wrote that it came from, search Amazon for Habit Harvester or click the link in the description. The book is short enough to read in one sitting, but is jam-packed with tons of information, just like you saw in this video. In fact, I've also added a few extra stories and fixed some of the errors found in this video course. There's also plenty of amazing illustrations to aid in the learning process and keep the book fun to read. If you're interested, you can buy the Kindle version for $2.99 or sign up for a month of Kindle Unlimited to get it for free, which is what I personally use, and you get access to millions of other ebooks and thousands of audiobooks included in your Kindle Unlimited membership. When you buy the Kindle version, you don't even need a Kindle to read it. You can download the Kindle app on your smartphone, download the software for PC, or even read it on Amazon.com through their cloud server. If you want to watch the rest of the videos in this series, click this thingy or check the link in the description for a playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching.